What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Small BioShock Remastered. Welcome back to another video, everyone. Don't forget to pound the like button, man. Sub to my channel, and let's continue with this game, man. Let's go, man. Welcome back, y'all.
I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say.
Get to what we need.
Hold it.
Oh. Who turned off the lights? Wow. I can't go this way anymore. The door was locked. Oops, I've done it again. But it doesn't scare me at all, man. You guys can like turn off the lights all you want. It doesn't scare me, doesn't faze me, does nothing, bro. Whoa! Playing dead, huh? Nice trick. Yeah, let's go. Get down to the ground.
Imagine the will it took to create a place like this. And what have you built? Nothing. You can only loot and break. You're not a man. You're just a termite at Versailles.
Is that Big Daddy in the building? Where is he? Hopefully he's not alone. Let's come upstairs. Is he alone? Is he with little sister? Okay, he's alone. So hopefully when the bangs on this one, she comes out. She's coming. No, he's coming my way.
Let me tell you something about keepers and all them university types. They're so smart, except when they ain't. I put a couple of drinks in him last week, and before I could say boo, he's telling me he's got the code to his office keyed to the date of Australia Day. Now's every weeks I slip in real gentle and nick a buck or two from the till. The Aussie never notices, and I ain't about to tell him.
Perfect.
Seems like there's all kind of crazy stuff back there. Maybe one day I'll get more ambitious.
Have a look around, see if I pick up everything I need before I fight Big Daddy.
Welcome to the Circus of Value!
Alright, let's do this. Use a grenade launcher, I'm in for sure. Oh, too slow. Just standing there. Easy kill. Alright.
What's wrong with you, Mr. P? No! 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 No!
I've seen such terrible things, and done worse myself. Thank you for reminding me that the light of the world has not yet been snuffed out. I am sending a little one to help you on your way.
Appreciate it. I did got some money. Let me see what else I can buy. I got 71.
Welcome to the circus of value.
I should be okay in the health. More pistols. Actually, yeah, more pistols would do. More health. Check this guy with 3 arrows. That's it. It's actually a good weapon, but it takes a long time to load. Oh, one shot, one kill. Who's next? I saw one more. There you are. Something down there. See if we can get it.
Ryan take care of this crap himself.
Because Mr. Ryan's got more important things to do than to enforce loyalty in the ranks. Say hello to Fontaine, you backstabbing son of a bitch.
Alright, so in order for me to get down there, I gotta hack that thing, man. I see a ghost right there. This. Okay, that's how we died, but see if I could though. Oh. Yeah, it's super red, so I'm not gonna be able. So I'll just auto hack. See what you got down here.
Before the final rat has eaten the last gram of you, rapture will have returned. I will lead a parade. Who was that, they'll say, as they point to the sad shape hanging on my wall. Who was that?
Now go listen to this.
I'll beg Mr. Ryan to hand Fontaine's heuristics over to Atlas's boys as a peace offering. But the stupid sod won't listen to reason. Instead, he's just splicing his mob up, giving them more and tougher plasmids. There's an arms race on here in Rapture, but it's not about who can build the best guns and the biggest bombs. It's about who can become less of a man and more of a monster.
Just wanted to see. I'll store it for now.
I didn't recognize the twist that come into the shop today. Stacked like Sally and dressed to the nines. She's played her cards pretty close to the vest, but you ain't gotta be no college job to see that she's into some bad china. She was asking about magnetic locks and some such. I played it coy, but she took wise. After she showed me round her backyard, I gave her directions to Keyboard's tool shop. Rapture's gone to hell, but sometimes the great chain still cuts you a break.
A man builds a city at the bottom of the sea. That's a marvel. Another man happens to be on a plane. that crash lands on the same city in the middle of the ocean. Why, that sounds more like a miracle.
Why are you leaving me?
Ooh. Just knocked him down like he's nothing, right? Ooh, nice dodge. Oh, that's it. Where'd that come from? I'm gonna follow Big Daddy. Hopefully he finds a little sister that I could save. Here. Oh, dude, camera right there.
Do you guys have any idea there's a war on? If you don't follow proper maintenance on those big patties, they burn through those R-34s like them Eve's apple berries go through penicillin. I've got Atlas's goons hitting us non-stop and 2 dead mechanics just this week. We need to control costs. If I wanted to deal with amateurs, I would have stayed on dry land.
Perfect, yes.
Thanks, Mr. Bubbles. Hop, hop, Mr. V. No time to waste. Three seconds, 3 too many, 3 too many, 3 too many, 3 too many, 3 too many.
Oh, we gotta reload, kidding me. I got this, I got this. I'll go down to the fight. Hit him. Oh, okay. Wrong one. Now I gotta reload. Almost there. Got him.
No! 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 Thank you.
Anytime. You going now. You go to a safe place. So that's all. Let me check here. So that's all. Okay, little sisters in this level. So far, I saved all 3 of them in this level right here. So. Oh, send me. Okay, send me go this way. Just trying to follow the arrow. What's this here? Okay, let's switch back to the arrow. Let me see what's this way. I missed it. You're still alive.
Only making it worse for yourself.
Right. Oh, okay. I'm dead now.
Brian's spies are dragging the young woman off right now. I'm certain she's one of Brian's spies, sent to fill me out. I think she is. If I'm wrong, an innocent girl will end up on Ryan's bloody trophy. Right, well, I've best be right. The device is almost finished. I can't get soft now, I can't. Basic casing is ready. I've got one charge of nitroglycerin in my office. That will serve as the catalyst. Now, I need 4R34 lead shield wire stubs to pass the circuit. Then a half can of ionic gel. That's the pretty Betty of the mix. Should send the core into compensation mode, push power down the line and trigger the circuit breaker on Ryan's gate. Well, that's the theory. It'll either work like a charm, blow up half of Rapture. Nothing ventured.
And there's a film right here, so you have unlocked another episode. Let's check it out. Hopefully it's not too, well, might be long. Let's check it out.
From the moment you boot up BioShock, you can feel the story grab hold of you. A plane crashes at sea, a mysterious lighthouse, a sprawling city beneath the ocean. Hooking the player from the first touch without overwhelming him with convoluted RPG mechanics was key to the success of the game and the skillful ramping up of BioShock's legendary gameplay. BioShock has an amazing opening sequence that I can't imagine the game without it, with the plane and sort of the crash. But I understand that didn't come online until like the very end of development. Sean, is that true?
We had a couple of really depressing playtests. We had built all these systems. We thought we were doing a good job of like giving basically people a playground to play with and things to do. And when we had a playtest, we didn't realize how bad of a job we were doing in exposing those systems to the player, because we were so in these systems and in our own heads, we had no idea that we just weren't facing them towards the player at all. So after that playtest, we took a long, cold look at what we were doing and realized that we had to introduce we were confident enough in the systems that they were going to be fun and meaningful to the player, but we really had to think about how we were going to introduce these systems to the player, and in such a way that they understand why the systems were there. Like, you can't ship a README file with the game and expect people to read it. Like, it has to be part of the experience. So the challenge is, how do you introduce people to these systems, but do it in such a way that it fits within the narrative? So we had to integrate all of these things into the story cleanly so that the player felt like it was one smooth experience. And I think the zap 'em and whack 'em thing was one of those.
And the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch that came out of that.
The plane sequence at the beginning, I heard a story that like a programmer put that together in like a day or two, and it was a very last minute thing, right?
It was. So we had done a focus test, and we had it was one of the most depressing experiences of my life, because we were very close to being finished, and it was basically giving people what essentially became the demo, and people played it, and it was in Boston, and we were sort of behind these glass windows, all these sort of Boston guys like, this is a wicked piece of shit. They hated it, and they were making fun of it, and they were saying, it's like watching some guys and dolls beating each other up, and it's the stupidest thing they've ever seen. And we thought we were in pretty good shape at that point. And I remember the focus test guy was like sort of like a doctor giving me the bad news. Sorry, Ken, you better get your affairs in order. Right. And we all came into work the next day, and we were like, what are we going to do? And we were all pretty depressed. But I think we started talking. And as we talked, we started thinking about, what are they saying to us? What are these people saying to us? We think there's something there. Well, how are they missing it? And we decided that maybe they didn't understand who they were and who their role as a character, who their role in the world was, because the game at that point started with you in the ocean, floating in the ocean after the plane crash. And
the crash still was in the fiction, it just wouldn't show it.
You just didn't see it, so you didn't have the voiceover saying, my parents always said I was going to do great things or whatever that. They didn't show the plane crash. We didn't establish a time period. Yeah. Because the plane is critical to establishing. You're smoking a cigarette. It's very 1960s looking. All that stuff was established. It wasn't established. So we decided we had no time and no money so we sort of came up with a script. I wrote some lines. A line, I think. Nate, one of our artists, recorded the line. Steven and Sean and those guys got to work on building this very simple sequence, which was simple. Relatively simple sequence, and then the plane crash actually happens over the BioShock logo we already had, but we wrote a radio play behind that with altitude of the crash, and that I think set the emotional, and the people screaming in terror on the plane crash, that set the emotional tenor much better and explained who the player was, and all of a sudden we released. Then I think the next real encounter we had was people playing the demo, public encounter, and all of a sudden it was a very different experience.
No, I remember even back in the day, I think we did a thing on TV where we kind of talked about it, and it was like that night, and I remember that night, like people on the forums were just like going nuts. And even though the game had a lot of press attention, when people finally got to play it and go through that sequence, I just remember there was this mass sort of excitement around it, and then the game shipped only a few weeks after that, right? Or a month after that?
A week later, or a few days later.
It's amazing, like now, to hear that, literally a month before the game came out, the plane sequence came online or something. I mean, it was that late. Right?
Well, we still had to go through certification and all that.
Yeah, so it's within,
It wasn't far. It wasn't far. It was really last minute, and it was one of those things where, you really shouldn't be putting in content that late. Yeah. But we felt it. We were so close to having something good that we just rolled the dice on it, and we worked really hard on it. We worked really hard. I remember how much time I spent on just that recorded of altitude. I could still hear the different version of that in my head. There's been so much time on that stuff, and these guys were working on getting the animations right, and the
scene was shot in engine, but we decided to pre-render it so that we had to do less QA on it.
Right.
There was it wasn't going to be some like weird streaming error or crash error.
Wow.
It was just like, we're just going to show the video. Yeah.
And it's interesting because once you start in the ocean, we had this experience of testing a lot with the water effects and how beautiful Steven's water effects were. People didn't realize they were out of a cutscene at that point.
Yeah.
And so they would just sit there and stare, and then they pick up the controller. And they pick up the controller, and all of a sudden they realize they were controlling things. But that, as Sean said, that part of the plane is not actually interactive. It was done in the engine, but we just filmed it.
Now, as people were playing through the game and you were testing it, I'm sure there was debate about, when would you introduce this plasmids, what would the ramp be? Did that change at all, sort of as you got towards the end of development, about like, oh, we're going to give people the gun at this point, or it's like we're going to trigger these plasmids at this point? Like, how did that work?
So, like, we moved guns around. Like, for instance, there was a big debate about, originally you found a gun in the lighthouse, a pistol in the lighthouse.
Oh,
in the very
right
beginning.
there, yeah.
And because it's a shooter, right? Like, what the hell? And we had a lot of debates about it, and I feel that it was important that we didn't do that, because the fact that you sort of go through a lot of the experience without having the distraction of a gun is important to getting you immersed in the world. Because when you have all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? But you don't have the hammer, so you just sort of had to take in the world and have that feeling of fear. And like, I know when you saw that splicer bounding around on the ceiling, that you couldn't do anything about it, and that had even though that's
those are those moments, right? Like I remember when I played Unreal for the first time, where it's like you're trapped and there's a monster and you can't do it, and the lights go out. It's like that's the moment with the splicer where you're like, I want to do something but I can't, and that evokes an emotion.
I remember we kept, moving where the machine gun appeared around and where various plasmids appeared around. It was a real. It's a real fine-tuning process.
Yeah, and it gave us an opportunity, like especially with the shotgun, to really present the weapons, like put some space between them.
It's a moment when you finally.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we get the shotgun Paul sequence.
Paul Hellquist was he put the sequence together for the when you see the shotgun laying in the pool of light. Like every game developer knows what that means. You know the minute you pick that thing up, something's going to happen. But it was still a very effective way, as I'm remembering it, to, oh look, I've been waiting for this thing, I'm going to pick it up, and now you have an immediate opportunity to use it. But at the same time, we're trying to ramp up the tension level by having the splicers kind of on the outside of the light, so you can't really see them, and then coming in one at a time and attacking you.
Yeah. And we had very few tools to really control how those splicers acted. So how they were set up and how the environment was lit was really important.
There's even other things, like when you get the TK plasmid, I don't think we had a lot of physical space and opportunity and time to really present that. So we came up with the narrative that, it was the doctor's office and he used TK to practice tennis. And we had the turret in there that threw tennis balls at you. So if you wanted to, you could catch the tennis balls and throw them, and you could knock things down. I think it revealed pickups that you could then, pull to yourself with TK. But we're always trying to think of like little backstories that we could do. It doesn't have to be as involved as the shotgun ambush. Sometimes it's just, oh, let's take a grenade turret and turn it into a tennis ball turret.
Because we want to, because I remember like the impulse was, I've been to dentist's office, and there's always some like weird aspect of the dentist personality they always want to get through their office. They just have to have their hobby featured in some way, and so we saw an opportunity there to both feature this, he's a tennis nut, and teach TK at the same time.
And the
Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed that, that film. Can we go back here again? Okay, so basically this is a bomb, okay. Okay, it looks like to find the 3 remaining components. And bring it back to it, okay. So to find 3 of them. Oh man, that's where I found one. It's time to go back there, but I gotta find the parts. Ooh. That didn't do much. Get out of here. Okay, so I found one from Big Daddy, so go back here. Okay, so I found one, so I gotta find 2 more. So I'm gonna go backwards.
What a balmy dream. Some kind of fruit tree spinning like a top. And it was pouring juice down Ryan's throat, choking the bastard. But it wasn't a tree, really. When I looked closer, it was the core control. The gizmo that feeds the mag locks on Ryan's gate. You can't cut off the power. It comes right from the volcanic vents. Ryan always gets his juice. But I suppose you could drown the son of a bitch in it.
Maybe to kill the Big Daddies, probably they have it. Let's try. Ooh, reload. Okay. Ooh, knockouts. Okay, there's one there. Also, okay, I found 2. So, okay, basically, Big Daddies have it. So, I did. Okay. Find the corpse of it. Gotta find 2 more now. I should know what's down there.
Hail Mary, full of curses, shall be the fruit of thy death.
Fight this guy now. And Tail's going out so slow. Parts are good. Okay. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Gotta reload. Gotta run around circles. Let's do it quickly. All right. One more to go. Go ahead and buy my ammo for sure. Boom! Right, so I'll forward him. Alright guys, so this is how far I'm going to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to, you know, pound that like button. And that's it. I'm out.